Okay, so this is the WEIU TV newsroom where we produce our half-hour daily newscast. One of the main systems that keeps us running here is iNews. We do a lot of content in here. It's where we write all our stories that are then shown over our newscast. So we use this program called iNews. What you're seeing right now is basically a rundown of what a show would look like. Normally there would be stories in here that we would be running during the day, and so it's where we type all of our content. The red part are just basically directions for those watching this, working the show in the control room. The black parts are what you actually write the story. That's what the anchor can read over the teleprompter. So this is connected to the control room, to edit bays. They're all connected through this Avid system. We also use Avid editing technology, so when people are editing, they can actually see the script so they can make sure the video matches the story. We're also connected with a server to a service called the Associated Press Wires, and basically what this does is it allows us to get stories from the Associated Press, who provides content to several thousands of news outlets around the world actually, and they have reporters who go out all over the place and cover stories, and then they're sent out to people who subscribe to the AP. So we subscribe and we pay to use these stories in our newscast. We get a lot of story ideas from here. Sometimes we'll just take an AP story and rewrite it for our newscast, and because we pay for it, we have the right to do that. So again, this is connected to everything in the whole WEIU system, and it's kind of the juice, I guess, behind the newscast, where we put all of our content that you see on the show. We also use these police scanners right here. We listen to them throughout the day. We can hear police in the 16 counties that we cover going over their radios and saying that, oh, there's been a crash in this area, or, you know, there's a house fire. And then we sometimes will send reporters, depending on what we hear, out to cover the story. That's how we, a couple years ago, 2007 it was, there was a situation in Arcola where it was actually a hostage situation, and the way that WEIU ended up being the first on the scene was we heard it over the police scanners. It was hard to believe, but we sent reporters out there, and that's how we got that story. So that's pretty much it in here, I think.
So this is PCD. This is where everything's, the production end of Newswatch is done. Right over here, this is where the producers sit. The producer, like you saw Barbara's show, they put everything in iNews. They stack the show, meaning they put what stories they want in the order they want, and then they time the show. Everything's really time-oriented here at Newswatch. Everything has to hit certain times, and the producer's job is making sure we're on those times. Next to the producers, where our news director sits, she's pretty much just overseeing everything and taking notes on the operation as a whole. Now, all these seats would be filled during a regular production. Starting over here, this is the teleprompter. This person's in charge of scrolling the words so the anchors can read them and read them to the viewers off of our screen. Here, this is what's called airspeed. This is where we record the show so we can archive. We archive every show we've ever done, and that's what's done on this computer. Over here, this is deco. This is what's called lower third in graphics. The bottom of your screen, you've probably seen names or locations of places. That's all done here. Also, the little boxes above anchors' heads, those are also made here. So everything doing with graphics is made by the deco operator and run by the deco operator. This is the audio board. This deals with everything audio for the show. So as far as mics are on, video run, and music, this is all done by one person, the audio operator. Over here, the two most important jobs in PCD. Right here first, this is the technical director. The technical director is punching up on the show, and all these buttons you can see, that's their job, is making sure everything's looking right on the screen. They punch everything. They take all the graphics, all the video, all the slates. That's all run by this person. The person giving them directions usually sits here. That's the director. They wear this headset. They communicate with everybody in here as well as everybody in the studio as well, and they're running the show pretty much. They're giving everybody directions. They give all the cues for the show, and everybody's following their orders here in PCD. All right, so here we are in the studio, and this is our set. Usually on a night you'll see two anchors. We have two news anchors. To the right of them would be a weather anchor coming from the weather wall to sit down here, and then to my right would be the sports anchor, and they interact with the anchors after they're done with their segments and anchor at the end. All right, this is our weather station. This is where the weather anchor sits. They come in, and instead of being in the newsroom, they do all their research here. They get all their slides together here, and then this is where we actually present from the 5:30 show. Everything from this computer is run into PCD and then eventually over here to the wall, and that's how we see ourselves on camera. Over here, this is the green wall, and this is what we see. This is called chroma key, the color, and what it does is takes this color, transforms it to whatever we have on that computer, and that's how you get the maps to show up on here. we have two different monitors that we look at when we're broadcasting, and then we can see ourselves in the camera as well, and that's how we execute the broadcast. So we have really nice cameras here. This is a multi-million-dollar facility. Last spring, we actually switched to HD. We're one of the few colleges in the nation that has an entirely HD newscast. So as you can tell, these are very expensive cameras, and really this entire facility is just top of the line. You don't really get this experience at any other college. So when the anchors sit here, they have two different things they need to put on. First, the mic, so you can hear, the viewers can hear what you're saying. The second is an IFB. This little piece goes in your ear, and we can get contacted from PCD, so the director or the producer can tell you certain things in your ear. If there's breaking news, they can tell you that. They also use this for time cues, or if you're reading too fast or too slowly, you can hear it from this. You put this in your ear, and they can communicate with you. So when the anchors are here, they're looking at these cameras, and the cameras are usually having words scrolling. So the anchor sitting here just simply reads those words into the camera.
What are the little monitors down there in front of you?
Sure. When all these monitors are turned on, these are just another way to see what's going on. Both of these monitors would be the teleprompters. Just like what's in the camera, they would have scrolling words. These other three monitors, the middle and then the two sides, are simply what we're broadcasting at that time. The reason for this is when the weather anchor sits over here, they can look there and they can see their numbers still, or they can see their map still until they're taken back on camera. And then the prompters are here for the anchors. Instead of looking at the camera all the time, they can look down, read a little bit off of here, and then get back and engage the viewer again. And the same thing for sports. Sports over here can see what video is rolling if they need to do play-by-play or something of that nature.